Hi, I'm Bill Weibel.
And I'm Susan, and we're with Tentmaker Ministries. We've been living on the property here in Extension 11, Ikahang, South Africa, since January of 2013.
The Lord called us into mission work in 2004, at which time we left our jobs and our family and our home in the United States. And since that time, I've been ministering to spread the good news of Christ's love with His people here in South Africa.
Tentmaker Ministries is a Christian organization in which we work with children and their families. We provide teaching from the Word to the children and also to their caretakers.
One of the visions of our ministry is to reach the children and the families of the children. A very large part of the ministry is to operate a Christian preschool. And we are blessed to have that opportunity immediately upon our arrival here. So we're ministering right now to 32 children, 3 and 4 years old.
Our preschool is set up to provide a loving and safe environment for the children in Extension 11. We provide them with an early childhood experience, preparing them for school, for grade R, which is like kindergarten. And we do this in a Christian environment in which the children receive a weekly Bible study, and they're also taught Christian values, how to be kind, how to forgive, how to take care of each other. We also provide opportunities for them to develop their writing skills, all of their cognitive skills, physical play, and work on their social development.
So it's been a real pleasure and blessing to see, to train the teachers and see them interact one-on-one, face-to-face, laughing and singing and playing with the children.
Yes!
Right now we have 4 teachers at the preschool. These women had never taught school before. They're not teachers. They never went to school to be teachers. When I interviewed each one of them, it was clear that they each had a love for God, they had a love for children, and they were willing to learn. And I found out that in this community, that was the best thing I could ask for.
Yellow, and then green. Good job. Good job.
My name is Alpha Pele. I'm an assistant teacher to Naledi Preschool. We teach them the Bible, how to stay healthy in their life, and what's their name and their address. We teach them that God is alive and God loves them and everything is possible with God. I'm able to read the Bible now, and I'm able to pray every night. I didn't know about Jesus that is alive, but now I know everything that God is alive.
My name is Taram. My surname is Makokwe. I am a teacher on Naledi Christian Preschool. I teach them how to play puzzle, how to write, how to sing the child song. They must not beat each other. I teach them the weather, the temperature, and the calendar, and the month of the year, and the seasons. When I started here, most of them, they were not answering. When you asked them questions, they were playing around. But now I can see if you ask them the question, they will answer you. When you do the calendar, you can only point and they will go after you by saying what you are pointing at. Yes.
Hello, my name is Kate Kanyani. I'm stay at Potchefstroom. I'm a teacher in Naledi Christian Preschool. Since January I was not working. And then I work in Naledi Christian. I'm a teacher. It was wonderful. I teach the children. In my job, I was wonderful and I enjoy everything. I care of the people because some of the people in this Naledi Christian church, they don't have a parent. As our teacher is a parent, with that child don't have a parent.
When we were first called into ministry, the Lord put a burden on our heart for orphans and vulnerable children and the people that care for them directly. A very common scripture that's used to support this is James 1:27, where James writes that pure religion is this, to care for orphans and widows and remain unpolluted from the world. So we were focusing on orphans, vulnerable children, and widows. As we learned through that process, simply helping the children was not enough because many of them lived in an environment that they quickly unlearned or had to suffer certain circumstances that we taught against for an hour or two a day, but then there were 22 or 23 hours left in the day where they had to live in such a situation. So it became apparent to us very quickly that to really address the needs of the children, we had to go back into the conditions that they were living and address the problems and the needs in that family unit.
Dora Pita.
The name is Dora Peter. Five children. Yes. You two tango. Cash.
We today. We today go kwala, go bala.
She learned how to put puzzle together. Daughter. Since 2010. 5 of the children, they are sleeping on the floor. Also this one. They are sleeping on the floor.
This is a very large community. It consists mostly of people that live in shacks. The shacks have no electricity, no running water. When it rains, usually the roofs leak and everything becomes wet, or the water floods, underneath their homes. So they have a lot of challenges in their life.
Hey.
You see, there's no electricity, there is no water, there is no toilet. They're going to use the toilet over there. They wash with this one. They also do the laundry on it. Okay, we like to do carpentry, to paint the wall.
Okay.
Yes, in the community. We only know how to paint, nothing else.
Is he interested in learning new skills or having training?
Okay, tumela go ithuta dilo tse dingwe go ya training ya go maybe o ithute go aga, o ithute go dira garden, go welda, go etsa eng. Yes.
The officially published unemployment rate in South Africa is near 40%, and that's what the government publishes, so we know that it's actually much higher than that. Many of the communities that we work in, it's 80, 90, 95%. There was one village we worked in, the unemployment rate was 98%. And without that sense of purpose or a reason to get up and something to do every day, life becomes almost hopeless. And so as a result, they turn to alcohol, they have unprotected sex, and create a lot of the problems that we really see in the community. And we believe that it's actually an act of worship to work, to earn a living, to support your family. And so one of the ways that we really can uplift these people and give them a purpose and a reason for living is by providing employment to them, and then teaching them to be good stewards of what the Lord does bless them with.
We are employing some of the people that live on the property, as well as working on finding jobs for some of the parents of the preschoolers from the outside. We have employed 5 staff members at the preschool, 4 of them teachers, and then 1 of them is a cook and the cleaner. And then we also have employed some local women from outside to come in and clean some of the houses, prepare the houses for teams or for guests that might be working on the property that need a place to stay for just a few days.
In addition to that, for the benefit of the preschool mothers, we've started a vegetable gardening project where the women gather weekly for Bible study and are being trained in biblical principles of farming to give them an opportunity to grow food to feed their own family, have excess food to sell to provide an income for them, and then also teaching them stewardship, that they can't eat or sell everything that they produce. They have to reserve a portion of it to be able to provide seedlings, manure, water, and compost for the next year's planting.
The main focus of the Bible study is to bring the people to Christ and to bring them into a relationship with the Lord. This is the first and most important part of that. We bring them here, and here they will learn many theoretical things, practical things about manure and about all this stuff. But the main thing we want them to see is how a little plant grows, and out of that grows a harvest. And that's also things that we can apply in our own lives. That they can go back into their families and plant little seeds into their family, and that will grow, and the harvest will be coming out of that.
The name of our project is the New Start Eco Garden Project. What you see here is a crop circle, which consists out of 3 parts. The first part is the curbing area. So when watering taking place, the water will not move to some other weeds, but stay in the area where it's needed. The second part is this coverage to protect the plants against hail, locusts, insects, the radiation of the sun. So only the good sun is going in, and the bad sun will stay behind. And then inside, we will have a wonderful irrigation system where we apply God's principles, where we've got a coverage to protect the soil against lots of evaporation. So underneath that coverage, that organic soil blanket, we save up to 25% of water. This netting also saves another 65% of water. So you can just imagine how much water we're saving through this wonderful project.
If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, he can feed his family for life. And we found that to be very true here.
Your family, you will get to take veggies home for your family, okay? The other portion will be sold, okay, to a store, okay? And then from that, you will receive some money, okay? And then the other portion of the money will go back into to buy more seed and fertilizer to start again.
The difficult thing is that many times when people have nothing to eat, you need to give a man a fish while you're teaching him to fish. Because there are all kinds of statistics about how children cannot learn on empty stomachs, and the needs in some cases are so great that we do have to provide material support to people while we're training them to be able to support themselves.
We want to be able to employ more people, especially the residents here on this property, so that they can actually go out and buy their own food or buy their own toiletries or buy their own clothes, rather than just always giving that to them. Okay, we want to be able to make them feel good, to know that they're providing for their own family rather than just receiving a handout. It's good when we see some of the families that have jobs. However, sometimes that presents a problem as well, because when the mother is at work, it's a very long day for her, taking the taxi early and then coming back home late. And this leaves the children in the house unattended. They're not always in a safe environment.
And as we drilled down further and prayed about it, the Lord exposed to us that a lot of the problems really came from the men. The whole situation of poverty here in the country, in one way, is directly related to this practice of having multiple wives and multiple girlfriends and multiple children. It's not uncommon for a man to have children from five or six different women whom he is then unable to support. And so now you've got 5 or 6 single mothers with a total of 12 or 15 or 18 children with no father figure or husband in the family to support them. So we're working very hard to instill the biblical principles of husbandry and fatherhood with the men in the community here. We've been blessed to start a small group Bible study where we have 5 or 6 individuals that meet together weekly and actually bless them with the opportunity to be in fellowship with one another and learn to trust one another and share their deepest feelings and ask the difficult questions that they might otherwise be embarrassed or afraid to ask and discuss with people. And we've seen tremendous fruit come from this, where people are becoming comfortable with one another and sharing life situations, becoming emotional, showing their emotions in front of one another. And we've seen tremendous growth in them through that process. One of the reasons we concentrate on working with the children is because they're the future leaders of the community and the country, recognizing that it may take 15 or 20 or 25 years to see the fruits of those labors. We believe it's important to instill in them sound biblical values so that when they do grow, and our teachers, doctors, lawyers, politicians, they'll have those values instilled in them for quite some time.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. There's 5 students.
We are in great need of more volunteers with our ministry right now. When you come into a community like this, you see so many needs, and you can think of so many ways to teach people to develop skills, but we need more hands to do that.
We'd like to thank you for taking the time to see how Christ is working in and through us here in South Africa to spread the good news of His love for His people across the world. If you'd like to become involved in this ministry by supporting us with your prayers, your purses, or your presence, I hope that you've seen the opportunities are great, the need is great, and as Christ said, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Thanks again for your support and your interest. God bless you.